boy. Oh no. They're all getting fucking humiliated again. What happened this time, man? I heard some things. I heard it's getting absolutely insane over there in the Hasan Piker weirdo freak terrorist supporting circle. What do I like to call them? Hasan Piker Circle of Freaks. Fitting name.
Welcome back to a series so legendary, even Mewtwo is watching. In today's
Oh shit, are me and Mewtwo watching this at the same time? Like Joe Dirt and his parents?
video, Hasan is now officially slandered an actual lawyer. Not a smart move. Legal Mindset has responded. Kaceytron continues to be a complete blundering moron.
What is this? What is that? What's going on here? Dance Dance Revolution? Or no, Just Dance. That's what I was thinking of.
Destroying any chance of winning her case against Ethan. Hasan is now also crying over people pointing out the fact that his family is rich and he is a Nepo baby. Apparently, he recently went to a phase party and has been bragging about his wealth as well. Subscribe to...
I think finally a lot of the people who were following Hasan, they're starting to figure out who Hasan really is. People start watching a guy. They're like, hey, I like this guy's ideas. I kind of agree with this pro-terrorism stuff. And then they're like, hey, wait, this guy is kind of just a liar. He doesn't actually practice anything that he preaches. He's just a capitalist like everybody else. He just lies about it. Yeah, that's what we've been saying. He is a capitalist. He just lies about it.
Witness the greatest series ever created. We're literally on episode 60, by the way. It's like longer than some TV shows at this point. Now, quick context for the situation. If you missed the last video, Hasan basically doxed and threatened a viewer for leaving a hate comment. He ended up pulling out his gun and threatening the wrong guy. After that...
Yeah, he really enjoys his freedom over here in America, being able to wave around a gun, nothing happened to him.
YouTuber and lawyer Legal Mindset actually called him out, to which Hasan instantly responded by slandering him and calling him a fake lawyer, a MAGA grifter, a passport bro, etc.
Yeah, a whole bunch of shit that Legal Mindset actively isn't.
Etc. So Legal Mindset responded, I've started to enjoy when people resort to ad hominem, as it means they've conceded the legal point or lack the capacity for informed and objective debate. I mean, yeah, this is just a classic Hasan Piker playbook, you know, insult the person instead of actually going for their arguments. Honestly, this is pathetic. Why even assert that you're political when you're literally not? That's an outright lie and used to put you on the side of the aisle and make it okay to attack you. Very cringe behavior. The only one bringing up politics is Hasan, as it's irrelevant to the objective legal analysis.
Yeah, like every time I talk about Hasan Piker, it's a bunch of people who are just getting political about it, and I barely talk about his politics. I'm always talking about like stupid shit that he does and says, and it's rarely about politics. Sometimes like the thing that he's talking about is about politics, and I'm just like, whatever he just said is fucking retarded. And then everybody's like, blah, 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 you're fucking ugly. Like, oh, thanks. I knew that.
Now, we also talked about this last video, but Destiny's son Nathan was actually banned from Twitch for using a toy gun. Meanwhile, Hasan obviously faced no repercussions. So Legal Mindset responded, the Hasan incident has opened the door for Nathan to have a quite colorable cause of action. He should get with a local attorney ASAP. Right, so he also released a video responding to Hasan.
Hasan has slandered me, committed some defamation in response to my reaction to what was going on with Twitch and the situation with Twitch. However, when a channel of 1.7 million people spreads false information about yourself, clearly not having watched a single one of my videos or really knowing...
That's so true. He doesn't ever watch any of these videos. He sees the titles and the thumbnails of probably people that hate on you, and then he makes connections. Thinks we're all the same. Thinks we all must be all of the things that he hates.
Much about me, it seems, other than what the most deranged antis might try to cook up. I love the fact that you're going to see immediately how he jumps to ad hominem, because ad hominem or personal attacks, when used as a debate strategy or when used to rebuke someone, actually...
Like he did with Ethan Klein whenever they did that debate and he was wrong and he couldn't defend his stance. He just had to start yelling racism,
represent a concession. That actually means you are incapable of making a legal argument or an objective argument or an informed argument. You're simply trying.
That's asking way too much of this moron. You think he can think? He just says stuff.
To discredit someone personally to get around the fact you lack the capacity to actually argue.
Right, so Legal Mindset is witnessing what basically any person who criticizes Hasan has to deal with. Basically, he will start lying about you constantly, not really caring about any.
My channel is absolutely blown up recently because of all the Hasan supporters. All the actual terrorists supporting terrorist supporters.
Legal repercussions at all. He will instantly try to smear your name so that his audience will not listen to a word you say. And the easiest and quickest way to do that is to call you a fake MAGA grifter lawyer. So anyways, after this, Legal Mindset
I love it when I get called a fake MAGA grifter.
Systematically shuts down each and every attack made against him one by one, starting with the fake lawyer accusation.
If I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that it actually is.
So let's stop right there. Okay, so Rumble lawyer is very interesting. While I do have, I guess, still a Rumble account, I haven't uploaded it to years. I don't stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube, primarily as a major platform. I've tried the others. I don't like them. Now, fake lawyer is interesting, and I want to throw out here that that's possibly the most defamatory thing. Now, I want to give Mr. Piker some.
Yeah, I covered this whole situation. Absolutely fucking retarded.
Credit here, because perhaps he knows nothing about me or knows nothing about the law. Well, clearly he knows nothing about the law.
I hope Legal Mindset sues this guy for defamation, because I think he's got a clear and cut case.
A lawyer is anybody with a law degree, whether or not they're licensed and practice law. So anybody who's gone to law school is indeed a lawyer. Now, attorney is someone above lawyer. You could say that word is perhaps not interchangeable, but similarly related insofar as they are not only a lawyer.
I love how he's explaining this to Hasan. Is he? Is he explaining this to Hasan like Hasan's gonna watch it? Or is he explaining it to me? I don't know. I'm not gonna go back and see who he's addressing. But I think it's funny. It sounds like he's addressing Hasan when he's talking like this, but he's really informing us. Because Hasan's not going to watch this. Even if he did, I don't think he'd understand it because he's too fucking stupid. And he can't get the rage out of his eyes whenever he watches something he doesn't like.
Lawyer, not only do they have a law degree, but an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Florida. So I am both a lawyer and an attorney above that. There you go, Mr. Piker. That's a language. So that statement is indeed false, right? That I am a quote-unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the University of Florida.
Wow, so turns out Hasan Piker was lying. I never could have guessed. Not in a million years would I ever guess that Hasan was actually lying about something. Not
Well, like, yeah, nobody's gonna know except for us. Not gonna be the Hasan supporters. They're not gonna know about it because they're not gonna fact check him. They're not gonna watch our videos. They are gonna click on the videos and leave comments and dislike it. But no, they're not going to watch. Some of them do. Which I don't understand them. They watch the whole video, then they leave a hate comment and a dislike. And then they come back to another one. I don't get it. I don't get the hate watchers. Guess that's a whole thing. Sure, whatever.
Not like he's done it literally 1,000 times before. But yeah, the fact is, he literally has a law degree and is licensed to practice in Florida. So he's actually just completely making up shit. And again, I don't know how his audience doesn't look at this and go, wow, maybe the guy I'm watching is not very trustworthy, considering he literally makes up shit on a regular basis. Yet somehow these absolute lobotomites go to him for political coverage. They go to him with the expectation that they're gonna give him an actual objective view of the politics. He's going to tell them how it is. But obviously, he knows nothing about the law as
I don't even think they care. I think they're just watching, making fun of people, and then whenever Hasan says terrorism good, they're like, yeah, terrorism good.
Legal Mindset said. He knows nothing about politics either, but somehow he randomly becomes an expert the second he talks about any topic, expert in geopolitics, expert in copyright law.
It's probably because out of all of the weird leftist woke freaks, he might be the smartest one because he learned how to cash in off of these weirdo freaks and their stupidity. And he knows exactly which buttons to press, which boxes to check. He's really playing them. He's doing a pretty good job. We see through it, so he's not going to be able to get all of us. But like, you know, I applaud him. I applaud him for this crazy scam that he's pulling, unless he actually believes all this nonsense, in which case, like, holy shit, I think we all might be fucked.
Expert in thinking the sun is a fucking missile.
What the frick is this, bro? Is it coming right at him? I can't tell. Oh, I thought that was the missile. It's the sun.
Truly a impressive resume. He's like,
That I like. That's funny. I like that. It's funny. It's just all of the pro-terrorism stuff that I don't like. If his content was just a bunch of him, like, saying stupid shit and everybody knows that he's stupid, sure, great. But that's not what it is over there.
like a shape-shifting chameleon, you know? He will automatically be granted a fake degree for whatever topic he needs to be educated about and pretend to know everything about it. Anyways, after this, Legal Mindset warns Hasan about continuing to lie about him.
So that statement in the future would be defamatory. With Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation. Now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker, and that he will well know that that information is false and defamatory, to continue to do so would perhaps incur liability.
All right.
Please sue him. I don't think he's gonna, but oh man, I hope he does.
Let me just save you the trouble here. As someone who's earned a PhD in Hasanetics, I can tell you exactly what Hasan is going to do after this. Is Hasan going to correct his statement, say, oh, actually, guys, I was wrong. Actually, Legal Mindset is a lawyer. I got that fact wrong, and I apologize. Nope, not unless he smokes more than Kaceytron. What's actually going to happen, and I guarantee you this, he will completely ignore the mistake he made. He will double and triple down, continue to call Legal Mindset a fake MAGA lawyer, and he will basically face no repercussions. You know, I would say
Unless Legal Mindset sues him, he has to sue him. Especially if Hasan keeps calling him a fake lawyer. And I think the Rumble thing is the worst one. I'd rather be called a kickster. Is that what they call them over there at Kick? Call them kicksters? Foot soldiers? I don't know. Than a rumbler. I don't want to be a rumbler. A rumbler tumbler. Okay, I'm done with that.
say like the real punishment is his credibility and reputation, but let's be honest, that shit has already been flushed down the toilet. There is no fixing his reputation at all. The local crackhead probably has a better reputation than Hasan at this point. Then Hasan talked about how Legal Mindset only ever talks about trans people, which is, I've literally never seen him do that ever.
Like a
Same. Never see. I saw him talk about some legalities around some trans issues, but that was it.
fucking right-wing freak that spends most of their time talking about like trans people.
Most of my time talking about trans people. The issues I have been covering lately have been the Ethan Klein lawsuit, have been Johnny Somali, have been Vitali. Now, unless you are counting something with Somali or Vitali as a trans issue, which I would struggle to understand how that would fit in, then yeah, that's not at all what my...
Yeah, he's just making shit up. You're part of the people that he doesn't like, so he's going to put all the labels that he puts on the people he doesn't like on you because you're part of those people. We're all part of the same group. If we're not with them, we're against them.
Content has been about for the past years. Also, I keep politics out of my streams, and it's particularly over the last year, 6 months, definitely last 6 months and a year, I have endeavored to keep my streams as objective and educational and make it a environment where everybody is welcome. Even people who like Hasan Piker are welcome in my chat so long as they are.
Yeah, same. I allow you down there in my comments. I might make fun of you. I'm not gonna like hate you, and I'm not gonna delete them. They're gonna stay down there. Other people can say whatever they want though, so watch what you say. You might get roasted. You might be pretty good. You might roast them. Who knows? You might roast me. And in which case, I will laugh and I'll let you know if it's good or not.
They are civil so long as they keep the conversation from violating the terms of service of the platform, because I indeed do care about abiding by the terms of service of the platform. I care about the law and educating people on the law. That's the core of my channel.
Well, Hasan also cares about educating people about terrorists, obviously.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say they are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well,
War crimes are actually a good thing, guys. Did I tell you about my favorite flag? It actually has an AK-47 on it. A symbol of peace, guys. And I don't know why Hasan has gone and said this, because if you literally just go to Legal Mindset's channel right now, you can see that he's been mainly covering those topics like Johnny Somali and Vitali. He's actually been
Yes, I know all about it because I've reacted to a lot of that stuff. I use Legal Mindset as one of my channels to react to. He is in my list. He is on my radar.
covering similar topics to us drama slop tubers, except he does it from a legal perspective. He does it from the perspective of a lawyer because he has some better analysis about that stuff. He knows the exact sort of laws they might have violated. He obviously has more in-depth knowledge about that, so people go to...
Yeah, I love that he's on the same wavelength as us, and he's just sitting on it, man. He's like, hey, I'm here to tell you, like, that you're all fucking right. Like, every time. This guy's legal takes is just, like, basically, like, we're always right. The people on our side. Every time. I don't know, man.
Check out his perspective on the situations. I mean, it's not very hard to do like a smidgen of research here, but here I am pretending that Hasan is actually trying to make a real argument, when in reality he's just completely making up shit to slander people. Then this next part, Hasan calls him like a drama perv.
Yeah, he don't care. He's still gonna be popular. He's still making his money. Way more than the people who like him will ever make.
A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama. But I'm not...
I will say, I actually do not like drama. And in fact, on my channel, I try to avoid drama. In fact, even in carrying out my behaviors, I try to make sure that I am focusing more on the legal aspect.
Yeah, like they've somehow, people like Hasan Piker have got it in their heads that people who talk about drama that's going on, somehow it involves us instead of us just reacting to shit that happens on the internet. And when we do that, we pull ourselves into the whole drama. And it makes no sense to me. Like, don't do stupid shit in public. And on a public-facing platform. Don't do anything on a public-facing platform, actually, if you don't want videos made about you. Because it's gonna happen.
Of things. But what Hasan tends to define as drama, and what it appears he's defining as drama, is anything that disagrees with the things he's doing. So by somebody saying what you are doing is objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong, or for example saying that, hey, your orbiters, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement. Here's the explanation of the law. Apparently that's drama, to objectively educate people on the law.
Listen, objective reality does not exist in Hasan's universe.
Yeah, they're in a bubble where they're always right and everybody's against them. But they are a huge problem on Twitch, so obviously a lot of people are going to be against them. More so Twitch. Like, I don't know how the fuck Twitch is just letting all this go down. And I don't know how, like, even above that, Amazon is letting it all go down. I don't understand it. That's why I think there's a whole bunch of dirty money involved, probably from the Middle East. They're going to have to prove that they don't before I believe that that's not happening.
Universe. It's basically whatever I think is right and everything on the other side is automatically wrong, which is why he just labels anyone he disagrees with as MAGA. Keep in mind, this is the same guy who thinks that slop tubers are working with the US government to arrest him. Absolute schizo. Also, I just gotta say this, Hasan is literally the drama pervert, okay? He actually tries to pretend that he's above it, but in reality,
he just somehow always peeks his head into it. He's always got something to say.
He freaking loves this shit, just like the rest of us.
People are talking about me, woo! That means I'm relevant. It's exactly what he thinks. Well, he doesn't think that because he's blowing smoke up his ass. But if you translate it through the bullshit filter, that's what he's saying.
If he really wanted to stay out of drama, he wouldn't be saying the most unhinged shit 24/7. He would actually try to mind his language, be like, oh no, I'm gonna get clipped here. But instead, he does the opposite. He actively feeds into it. He literally cries about slop tubers all the time. And obviously, when he does that, we're gonna start covering him. And unfortunately for him, we're not the quote-unquote good commentary YouTubers, the ones that are basically completely on his side, like Noah Samson or whatever. You know, the second guy who did a heart for the Houthi terrorist. Now, is the FBI actually watching the Pegasus channel? Of course, everybody is a Pegasus fan or a future Pegasus fan. This is simply a law of the
Easy, you got so many hate watchers. So many hate watchers. I see them down there.
universe. And don't worry, Hasan, they are coming for ya. Then Legal Mindset responds to the passport bro allegation. And basically, if you don't know what a passport bro is,
Passport bro is typically someone.
It's a guy who goes to an Asian country to get an Asian girlfriend who wants to date a Western man because the idea is that he can't get a wife in a Western country.
okay,
Which, by the way, better than no wife. You know? Based as fuck. At least you're trying to get a wife.
here's what Google is saying. Basically, Western men who travel to other countries to seek romantic relationships with women they perceive as more traditional or feminine. Some view it as a way to find a partner with traditional values or escape what they perceive as a difficult dating scene in their home country.
So fucking true. So fucking true. If I could date an Asian lady, I would.
Not a real lawyer, but a passport bro.
Passport bro is interesting because the definition of a passport bro is typically someone that would visit a location for a short period purely for sexual purposes. And for anybody who knows anything about me, I'm a long-term resident of several countries in Asia. I've been a resident of the Republic of South Korea, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. These are all wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal residence long-term in these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. Insist that perhaps the only person that perhaps between the two of us would be a passport bro is the individual who visited Berlin solely for the purpose of going to a brothel.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking owned. That's what I was waiting for. That is a major bomb. And his audience ain't ever gonna see it because they're fucking a bunch of fart sniffers. They're Hasan fart sniffers. They're up his ass constantly. And they never want to look outside. They're blinded by the farts. Because they have to be facing inside the asshole in order to sniff up all the farts. Can't look away, you might miss some.
Yeah, I don't know why he ever tried to say that when Hasan has literally exposed himself for being a complete degenerate. Not to mention these sort of environments and the conditions of working there is not exactly the greatest. So for someone who claims to care about women and minorities, it's just a bit hypocritical and basically exposes what type of a person Hasan actually is. And I'm not familiar with Legal Mindset or anything that he did, but God forbid anybody goes to Asia to live there because it's a nice place. There's actually other reasons people can go to other countries rather than being a passport bro or whatever.
Who offers fucking courses on becoming a passport bro.
I'm pretty sure he's not doing that. I'm pretty sure. Is he doing that? Somebody fact check that.
Who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Neither one of those things are true. I do not have a single course on becoming a passport bro, and I do not primarily stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube.
Right, so again, he just completely made up shit for no reason. I mean, it's actually just pathetic at this point. How many times? How many times is he gonna lie? Then he talks about a law that Hasan might have broken.
And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine. He may have violated this statute, 653.2, involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads, every person who with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So if you have the intention to scare somebody else, to place them in fear of their safety or the safety of that person's family by means of an electronic communication device, a computer or a cell phone, and without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person, or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo, and he engaged in those actions with the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into contacting California law enforcement, could look into that pertaining to Hasan, and take action thereby.
Honestly, I feel like the guy who was completely innocent in the situation, the guy who didn't even write the hate comment and got harassed by Hasan,
Even his response wasn't even like mean or hateful or like rage filled or anything. It was just like, hey man, he called me a skinny bitch. What the fuck?
definitely has a case on him, especially because Hasan refuses to apologize or take any accountability at all. I feel like he actually just thinks he's invincible and he can get away with anything. And lately, he's just been pushing every boundary as much as he can. Calling him a pseudo-intellectual really pissed him off. Please sue him. He's in dire need of consequences for his actions. Ain't no way Legal Minds have brought up Hasan's brothel trip. What the heck would a lawyer know about the law? Hamas piker. Hasan obviously knows more than the lawyer, of course.
Hasan knows more about everything than everybody. I bet he sided with Pirate Software on the Stop Killing Games or against it.
Guys, does Legal Mindset have a degree in Hasanetics? Of course not. Anyways, Ethan responded too. He dropped a statement about the crash out. Hasan, you spent the last year calling me a doxer for doing the exact same thing, except you targeted the wrong person. I'm not offended by what you did. I just find the brazen hypocrisy funny. You and your underlings, that's a new one, have zero consistent morals. You change it day by day to suit your needs, and the audience plays along.
Yeah, they think that Hasan is the leader. They think Hasan is their leader and he can do no wrong. Like, they're part of an army. That's what they have in their heads.
In the obvious double standard. Separately, I've never seen such unequal enforcement of rules as on Twitch. It's approaching criminal negligence. When Twitch inevitably implodes, I hope Dan Clancy ends up in jail or blacklisted from ever working in tech again. He's sacrificing the entire platform to protect one person. It's absolutely sick. Dan, I would heed this warning. I hear there's no gooning pillows in jail. But anyways, let's move on to the Hasan orbiters. Now, last time we covered Kaceytron, she was, doing her usual stick of calling everybody an incel, and she actually ended up streaming a movie again after being sued.
Dude, that is so insane. Getting sued for copyright and then do the thing that you're being sued for again, but against another person. Or in this situation, Universal. Ask Limp Bizkit how bad Universal is about their copyright.
Sued for copyright? So literally like the dumbest move humanly possible. Well, Asmongold has responded.
Kaceytron streamed a whole movie to fundraise for a copyright lawsuit? What?
So dumb.
I actually think that she might be dumber than Johnny Somali. Really. Like, this is Johnny Somali levels of a lack of self-preservation.
Yeah, which is more powerful? The government or an international multi-billion-dollar corporation? Which one's more powerful? I'd say the international multinational is correct, because it's like they live of one nation. They're a company of Earth, basically. They don't live inside the confines of the United States anymore. They control everything in the media, basically, along with some other people. But they're all basically the same company, just with different names. They do the same shit.
It's actually impressive.
You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up. Dan Clancy doesn't care.
Yo, this video is so many levels deep in the meta. This is way too meta. Hang on, I'm getting a little... We got Rev says Desu being reacted to by Asmongold is being talked about in a MorePegasus video that I'm reacting to. We've gone too deep.
He doesn't care whatsoever. People are abusing his system to watch movies without even her on the screen. It's not for criticism. It's not for any sort of review. It's just to play a movie to dangle keys in front of people, hoping they will contribute to her GoFundMe. Clear violation of Twitch's TOS, and also another example of copyright infringement. Clearly, but no one cares. I'm not going to play this clip because she's playing Evanescence.
Oh no, we just made the meta even deeper.
Bring Me to Life.
This almost makes you want to donate to her GoFundMe. It does. This is so stupid.
How are people over there at Twitch not getting in trouble for this? Have they just not seen what YouTube went through? Have they not gone through what YouTube had to go through? I remember when people were doing this, they were allowed to do this. Not a thing anymore. You're not allowed to make money off of somebody else's music. It does not matter.
This is so stupid that I just want to make sure it happens.
Dude, Kaceytron might literally be the stupidest Hasan orbiter, and that is a fucking achievement. I honestly don't know how you get this level of dumb. You are literally committing the same infringement that you are being sued for, so you're probably gonna get double sued, and this time not by Ethan, who you already think is rich, but somebody far richer, Universal. And of course, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy is not gonna do shit about this. He is always, at any moment, you can guarantee this, he is mid-goon sesh. You guys just don't understand the struggles of a legendary gooner. It is not possible for him to press the ban button because his fingers are too sticky. You don't understand the struggles of being a Twitch mod.
Read the comments. Typical cult behavior. F you incels. Oh God.
In the background, she's basically saying, all these Zionists are attacking me. Hasan, help me.
Holy shit, she didn't mention incels. So I guess I'm not included in that? Unless she's gonna call me a Zionist, which I'm not. But, you know, that's fine. I'm not an incel either. But I'll go ahead. I'll take the label Incel Zionist Army. Let's go!
Hasan, please, where are you, Hasan? He's not here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. Damn.
It's a moon that fell out of orbit.
Damn.
It's going straight into the sun. What the fuck is she doing? I don't know.
Dude, I love how the orbiter terminology is catching on. We got the wonderful animation. And as the forefront expert on Hasan
Bro, these 10 years haven't been kind to her. Singing Evanescence. Man, I remember when I was 12.
orbiters, let me just explain this situation to you guys. So basically what happened is Kaceytron's orbit has been disturbed, so to speak. So there she was, you know, happily doing her revolutions around Hasan. But what happened is the Ethan Klein asteroid actually hit her mid-orbit. And then she was flung into random motion in outer space. And now she is actively been dragged not into the sun, sorry Asmongold, but actually the nearest black hole, an anomaly in space that sucks in everything, all of her remaining money, all of her remaining dignity, everything that she ever hoped of doing, being dragged into the bottomless.
And the ironic thing is she is the one who manifested the black hole in the first place.
Pit of nothingness, the place where time itself stops and nobody can escape. Absolute cinema. Now, the identity of the black hole remains a mystery, but some people are theorizing that there's only one creator that could possibly be that dense. But that's a story for another day. Then they talk about how Kaceytron is actually winning the race between the GoFundMes.
And Kaceytron, the dark horse of this race, somehow winning. Imagine being
That thumbnail goes hard, though. I'll give him that.
in a trio of lawsuits, and you're
I feel like the reason why Kaceytron has raised the most money is because people want to. It's like a Kickstarter for like a TV show.
Yeah, they want Ethan to get paid. They really want him to get that money.
This will be the most entertaining episode.
I mean, absolutely. Like, if this was actually according to followers, then Denims would be raising the most because she has more followers.
Dude, besides Hasan Piker, the one that we've talked about the most was Kaceytron. Like, she's a rising star. Who knew? Who knew that she was going to be the most interesting character out of all of them?
Followers than Kaceytron and Frogan. But Casey is actually winning the race because she is the biggest train wreck. She is the biggest loser. And also, I think that something that contributed to her winning this race is that
I think her real name is Becky. She looks like a Becky. Or a Rhonda.
she tweets like a million times a day crying about incels. And obviously there's an infinite amount of brain dead Twitter people. So all these pathetic losers identical to Kaceytron essentially go, well, actually my queen is being harassed by men, so I gotta donate my last bit of money here to anyways eventually have it go to Ethan. So I find that hilarious. Then Asmongold gives her the absolute most brilliant idea.
Why doesn't she just like, I mean, she loves smoking weed. Why doesn't she just open like a dispensary or like sell like weed? And I don't know if you can sell salvia where she's at, but like, I mean, she's obviously really passionate about smoking weed. Like, and I mean this in like a completely non-toxic, non-harmful way.
But that would actually require doing some work, putting some work in, and that sucks to do whenever you're smoking weed. You can't smoke weed and do real work at the same time. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You can smoke and then do work, but if you're smoking all the time, then you can't work.
What Kaceytron should do is she should start a weed shop and make that her content. I think it would be the best idea that she could possibly have. Now, I understand that a big problem with this is that it would take time and effort and work. And it's a lot easier to just be asleep and lay on the floor and complain about men.
Hey, don't call out her job like that. It's a tough job. And you forgot the most important part, the hardest part, saying the word incel every 5 seconds. It's incomplete without that. Legend says she gets her non-existent salary cut in half unless she says it every 5 seconds. It's like a curse that's been put on her.
Yeah, she's contractually obligated by Hasan Piker.
Kaceytron, man, I genuinely hope her husband gets off Grindr and
she has to call us incel Zionists. Is the only way she can stay relevant.
Does something about this situation. Maybe your knight in shining armor can finally save you from all this. Oh wait, you're both broke. You're absolutely cooked and you deserve all of this.
And by the way, they assume it's only men that dislike them. Ladies in the chat, all 10%
No, all of the women that dislike her are actually just pick-me's that are looking for attention from men. That's the only reason. It's either I'm right or you're lying. Like, okay, yeah, that's pretty easy.
of my audience.
How convenient.
Do you like Kaceytron? Are you on her side? Let it be known in the comments section. I have a feeling you're not on her side.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plenty of
I like Kaceytron, and I'm also not on her side at the same time. I think she's a great character for this whole crazy saga that we've gotten ourselves into. I'm glad that this is where we're at. This is a good year. This is a really good year, is it not? Like, I know shit's crazy, and like these people are insane, and nothing's being done about it, but it's very, very entertaining. This is a golden era of making fun of retards.
If women don't like Casey, but she likes to pretend that it's all men because that will help her keep her worldview, right? Anyone that disagrees is just wrong. If you're a woman who disagrees, you're probably a pick-me or like a MAGA right-wing grifter.
Oh man, I love it. I love the character. She's so fucking stupid. There's no way she's real. Like, I couldn't write a character like this. There's just so much personality. It's oozing out of her. Every inch of her. Every foot.
You're controlled by the patriarchy. Just complete, utter delusion. Then they talk about the other orbiters.
Denims has received $10.
Oh, we haven't talked about Denims in a while.
Big big day, huge day.
Frogan is someone
Why
who
does
is
she have that as her Twitter fucking pro? Why would you do that?
She is someone who said that American soldiers deserve PTSD. And isn't it funny that the top donation from that previous video a few days ago was from a former military person, a veteran saying, tell Frogan I meant to donate to her, but I guess my PTSD got the better of me.
Oh my god.
Freedom isn't free, okay? I am blessed to be able to sit here with my cowardice loser ass to sit in this chair and talk about internet drama for a living. I am blessed. And the only reason...
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love this life that we all live together.
The reason I can do that is because of people like this.
Think about living in Lebanon or living in, I guess Egypt doesn't have as much of that stuff, but obviously Palestine, Israel, Iran, fucking Ukraine, Kiev. Yeah, think about that, right? It's such a tremendous privilege that we as Westerners have that it's a fish in water. I don't think that we appreciate and respect that enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think as much as I appreciate and respect it, I still don't think it's enough. And I don't give a shit about all the other places, honestly. People want to bring up, usually Hasan Piker supporters, want to bring up Palestine and like how Israel killed 2,000 people, or I mean, 2,000 Israelis were killed, and 50,000, 100,000, millions were killed by Israel in Gaza. And I'm just like, bro, when the fuck did I talk about Palestine? I do not give a fuck. I do not care. We're not over there. We're over here. We're in America, bro. Hasan Piker, also in America. All these people, even if they're not living in America, like they're on American platforms, speaking American.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just being in a safe place and feeling safe on a daily basis is an insane privilege. Without the amazing soldiers and officers, you know, just defending whatever country you may be in, or defending your city even, protecting you from criminals and violent people, there would just be chaos without that. And a lot of people forget that. Without our civilized society, essentially we are, you know, forced to fend for ourselves. And turns out that is a very brutal environment if you just look at, I don't know, fucking animals, right? So I don't know, you gotta show your respect for the people who actually go out there risking their lives for our sakes to, you know, protect the people they love, to protect the country they love. And it is only people who are super privileged and spoiled rotten who can say shit like this. Frogan sitting on her ass eating 50 pizzas like, oh, American veterans should all get PTSD and die, while actively benefiting from the protection they provide. Just absolutely disgusting shit. And only somebody so overindulgent, you know, in society and consumption could ever say something like that.
I do genuinely believe that bad things do happen to bad people. And so whenever I see somebody saying this, I think it's just a matter of time. And whenever it inevitably happens, I will be there to laugh.
Yep. That's what we're here for. Make fun of retards. We all love this life that we live. I say it again.
Anyways, let's move on to Hasan, bragging about his money, but also crying about when people point out that he came from money. So somebody posted this on Reddit. Twitch socialist bragging that he makes the most money out of anyone at the phase party.
It's valid and fair. All right, Hasan said I make more money. What about you? How much money would I have to pay you to jump in the...
What is this quality, man? Like, I get the IRL streams. I get it's cool. But, like, the quality is shit. We ain't there.
Okay, no worries.
Like, who watches this?
I made more money than everyone here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Yeah, he's a perfect socialist, man. Perfect socialist. One that lies about being a socialist and is actually a capitalist that enjoys the freedoms of America.
Hasan, we part of the same agency. They bring home the bacon. That's just how it is. I mean, like, I wouldn't go around and say that, but, like, you know, it is what it is.
What a socialist guy is. He just has to point out that he makes more money than everybody there. And just a little...
Yep, typical socialist who has money. They're going to be talking about how much money they have and how good their life is to people who are living their best life. But when he's talking to his audience, he's going to act like he's oppressed and people are putting him down and shitting all over him and everybody's an idiot trying to pretend that he's a bad person when he's not. You're the bad person.
Little bit of context. This was the Phase 4th of July party filled with a bajillion content creators. There's literally people with over 10 million subscribers here.
I would not find myself dead. I would not. You would not either. I said that. That premise of that was all weird. I would never go to one of these parties. It's fucking gross. Weird people. Everybody obsessed with money.
Literally a room full of Omega multimillionaires, and Hasan is bragging about being the wealthiest there. Now, I don't even know if that's accurate. There's a bunch of, like, titans there as well. So I don't know if it's true, but it doesn't matter. It's the fact that he thinks he is and the fact that he's still bragging about his money. Hasan, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I mean, you have so much extra free money. Why don't you
He can't put his money where his mouth is. He has too much money. It won't fit.
donate half your income to Gaza
His head's too small.
and help Palestinians instead of actually just standing on their graves and using them as a defense to any argument ever? You can't criticize me. There's a genocide going on. And while you're at it, why don't you donate the other half to Kaceytron, Frogan, and Denims, your literal moon orbiters?
Dude, next time somebody brings up Palestine, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is not a real place. I think that's not actually a real place. But next time people bring it up, I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't know there was a genocide going on. Since when? What happened?
Who have done nothing but support you this entire time, and here you are completely ignoring them while they are about to be ruined by Ethan. Or of course, you know, you can buy another mansion, go to more parties with a bunch of, this is literally a
Did you know that there are people dying in Palestine? Did you know that? What? There are people dying in Palestine since when? How come nobody told me?
rich elite party. Don't worry guys, Hasan is for the working class. Now people were also calling out Hasan for his family being pretty rich, and he just had a meltdown.
Is he a millionaire genuinely? No, dude, I take care of my whole family. Does this chatter not realize he's talking to the son of the guy he's talking about? The you need an article for? I can see why you would want that to not be the case. First of all, what difference does it fucking make for me if he's a billionaire or not?
It makes a pretty fucking big difference. It does. You compared to all the regular people in the chat that are nowhere near the level of you and never will be. Like, come on.
Of course, what difference does it make if my dad's a billionaire, guys? It's no difference. Well, it makes a huge difference because you're a fucking Nepo baby. You have no idea how the world actually works, and you like to pretend you understand the problems of the regular person. Meanwhile, you are actually completely out of touch living in your goddamn multi-millionaire mansion. Also, just saying, if you can bring up Tectone's dad saying that he inherited sexual assault genes, then people can bring up your dad. I mean, can you imagine if Asmon's—
Yeah, they own themselves all the time. Do they not realize that everything that they say is recorded on the internet and everybody's gonna pick it apart? And they're gonna make videos about it? Do they not know this? Have they not figured this out by now? It's all there. It's all there, baby. Even if you delete it, it ain't gone. It ain't gone forever. Somebody's got it. And they're compiling it. And they're making the video that's gonna cause your downfall, man.
dad was this mega rich multi-millionaire, of course Hasan would non-stop be crying about it. Oh, he never worked for anything, he had his career handed to him, which is exactly the case for Hasan here.
What happened to this argument where it's like these people went from, dude, you're rich but a socialist, to like, now you're rich and your father is rich? He's not. He used to be. It's not something that I've kept a secret. My dad used to be pretty, I mean, rich for Turkey, right? Not in those lists or anything like that, but by the time I got to college, he was not. I didn't link it. Your moms are soft as baby. She missed a cut.
He's trying, seriously, he's trying to argue like, oh, your dad's rich, you're a Nepo baby. And he's like, well, there to where whenever I actually started becoming popular and adult, he wasn't as rich. Like, give me a fucking break, man.
And must keep your fragile echo chamber alive. Okay, chatter. Anyway, let's continue. How do you lose his wealth? Futures trading. The Piker curse.
Okay, so he's talking about the Piker curse here. Apparently this is a thing where like his family always gets rich and then loses it all conveniently so that he can continue his socialist grift, obviously. Right, so let's—
It's probably because they're smart enough to get the money and they got the connections, but they're fucking retarded, so they end up throwing it all away, and it's probably gonna happen again. And he's gonna be like, oh, it's the Piker curse. That's why I'm poor, broken, and irrelevant. When really he's just a fucking moron.
Let's just look up Hasan Piker's father. His father, Mehmet Piker, is a political scientist and economist who served on the board of directors and as vice president of Sabank Holding and a founding member of the Future Party in Turkey. And then if you look at the net worth of this holding, it's 12.93 billion USD. Market—
I mean, he's less rich than he used to be. Am I right? He lost some of his money. The Piker curse. Piker curse.
capitalization is 5.4 billion. Right, so obviously that doesn't mean his dad is currently rich or anything like that, but Hasan did admit he was rich at one point. Don't really know, there's not much information about that, but we do know that Hasan's—
I don't know how you go from being a multi-billionaire to being absolutely dirt poor broke. Just like that. It doesn't happen. Never. It never happens. Even if you go to prison for 30 years off of some crazy shit, you're still like multi-millionaire. Get out of here with that shit. Like multi-hundred millionaire.
uncle is a confirmed multi-millionaire. It's Chunk Yogurt, you know, from the young—
$10 million though, that's not that much. That's not that much money. That doesn't make them rich. Well, it doesn't make them the same kind of rich I'm talking about, which is the billionaires.
Young Turks, who also gave Hasan his entire political career. So yes, Hasan is absolutely a Nepo baby and has never had to struggle in life and has basically been handed everything he has. So you guys messaged me on Instagram about this.
And all of that would be fine if only he would admit it, and if only he would stop lying and actually be a fucking decent human being.
Apparently Hasan has talked about this before.
Dude, you're doxing my fucking dad while also
Oh yeah, it don't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good when people dox you and the people around you. Give me a fucking break here.
claiming he's a billionaire. I've never even seen this fucking website. 5 billion net worth.
Bro, you're doxing your own dad. What are you doing? What are you doing? Telling people that they're doxing your dad. You're the one that's looking up the stuff.
This $5 billion. I still did not have to work to you know, ensure that I took care of my family. That would have over my schooling in the process.
Bro, he's trying so hard. He's trying so hard.
You know what I mean? There's a tremendous amount of different societal pressures that I did not have to withstand as a consequence of growing up affluent. Even if they had no money by the time I got to college, it still doesn't matter. But because of the affluent position of my family at the time, I still went to a really good private school.
Right, so apparently...
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that nobody else can relate to. Bunch of rich people shit. From a socialist who wants to tear down the system that he doesn't have to experience. But he'll be at the top. Which, by the way, if we had a socialist system, Hasan Piker would not be where he is. He would not be allowed to stream. He would be taken down. He would not be a leader because he's retarded.
People bringing up his dad, who he himself has brought up multiple times in the past, is doxing him. Also, funny how he cares about doxing considering what you literally did the other day, trying to harass a random guy in front of your stream.
Yeah, actual fucking stupid hypocrite.
Also, he basically did admit that he just grew up very wealthy. But apparently a genie just came out of nowhere and stole all of his dad's money, guys. Apparently he was very, very ultra rich, and then I don't know what the hell happened. He's just stupid with his money.
He's not as rich, you know? But let me tell you, he ain't making less than $100,000 a year. And most people make less than $100,000 a year.
I don't know how stupid you have to be to lose that much money. But I don't know, nobody really cares that he was rich. It's just the fact that he tries to pretend he was not this Nepo baby. He tries to pretend he understands the struggle of a common man when he absolutely just does not. Now click this video or you have to marry a girl like Kaceytron. Sorry for saying girl, that's pretty offensive, my bad. Alright, thanks for watching, bye-bye.
I don't want this to be over. I want this to keep going. I like this. I like this saga. It gives me daily content and gives me morons to laugh at. I love laughing at retards. If you like to watch me laugh at retards and act like an idiot, leave a like and comment. And why don't you subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications.